everyone, and welcome to Thrashcast, episode 61. Wow, 61. We're homing in on 100 here. We're more than halfway there. So this is awesome. As usual, I'd like to welcome my cohorts, partners in crime, Billy and Ken. How are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, good, sir.
Yeah. Oh, we're fighting off the heat all over Canada right now.
Yes.
My two cohorts are in Toronto. Billy, yeah, you're in Toronto. You were in Montreal last week, and I'm in Halifax. So I'm getting the weather a day after you guys get it. It always flows east. Buddy. So
we're getting
thanks for setting me the heat wave.
You're welcome.
But anyways, I would rather, you know what? I'd rather do this than I would rather have the heat than shoveling snow, especially in this heat.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know. Anyways, so tonight, guys, we're going to be heading into some Suicidal Tendencies landmark album that we're going to get into, Lights, Camera, Revolution from 1990. One of my favorite albums, and I know it's one of your guys' favorite albums too. Before that, just a little bit of housekeeping where you can find us. All you got to do is go on YouTube, type in Thrashcast, and we will come up. But we're also under Horror Metal Sounds. You can look us up. And on YouTube, Kenji.2864. We're also on Rumble, Spotify, so you can listen to us on Spotify. And recently, how long has it been, guys? We're on TikTok now.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, wicked. And I believe, did the last short go on TikTok for Celtic Frost? Or was that just YouTube?
I think Rich posted. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I know it's cool. So everybody check that out. It's really cool. And what I really like about the short for the Celtic Frost episode we did last week is that it's talking about the artwork. And I didn't realize that the painting artwork, the panels were that big. And this was just one part of it up in the top.
Yeah, it's massive. It's a massive painting.
Blows my mind. I was like, holy cow. I had trouble finding it at first. I was like, hey, where is this? You know, it's up there.
That's why I urged you after last week's show to go Google it. You'll see. It's massive, wicked. Massive piece. Yeah.
And a freaky painting too. All kinds of stuff going on.
Yep. You betcha.
And anyways, we'll head into the first part of the show where we talk about any news and what we are spinning. Billy, what have you got for us this week?
Yeah, two news items, one tour and one under the category of craziness. So new tour announced the other day, Death Angel doing what they call a North American tour. But I mean, it's really a U.S. tour because they're only playing U.S. dates, sadly. November and December. But what's cool is they're doing Act 3 in full. So that's going to be a pretty interesting show. And three bands opening. Two are that I personally know well and love: Toxic Holocaust and Misfire. I'm not as familiar with Lions at the Gate. Do you guys know them?
Not really.
No, not me.
Yeah, so I don't. Maybe a new modern band.
I think so.
So that's really cool. That's something I would do, but sadly not coming anywhere near my way. And then in crazy news and continuing on, one of you guys usually bring up an Aussie story. So I don't know if you guys read this, but the water company Liquid Death, which is like $6 water in a can, that's sold at all the shows. But they did a promo, Aussie DNA cans. So apparently they sent Ozzy the cans. He drank them. He sent them back to them with his saliva still to the can.
Oh my God.
So basically it was buy Ozzy's DNA.
Oh my God.
$450 a pop. And they send you off a can of water that's already, that he supposedly drank. And I don't know, if you're a scientist and swab it, maybe you can find his DNA. So I don't know. I just died laughing when I read that story, but they showed you the actual promo and stuff. So I guess that falls under Sharon trying to make as much money as she can.
You know what, though? I'd like to get a can, and then we could rig up the three of us live. We could do a live show like Weird Science, where we instead of making a beautiful model, we recreate Ozzy.
Yeah. There's Ozzy again.
That is crazy, man. I never heard that, but I'm glad I did. That's freaky.
Oh, it's heavy. It's been on my Facebook feed. It's on all the metal sites. I even had like all like people I know, like coworkers, send me it. I'm like, oh, is this something you're buying? So yeah, it's hit the mainstream media actually, oddly enough.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that either.
Oh, okay. I saw it just today. It was on like one of those like main metal sites, like Metal.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Or one of those, but then the last under the category of what's spinning, I came across this a while back, and I've just become addicted to it. It's an 80s band, 80s Canadian metal band from Vancouver that were even around in the early to mid 80s.
Okay.
But the band is Sacred Blade.
Oh, I know them. Yep.
And so this thing's a masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
So do you know, you guys know this album well?
No.
I know the album well. Yeah. Sacred Blade.
So yeah, so this is I mean, luckily they just did a small, like recently, a 100 copy vinyl repress of this thing, but it's called Of the Sun and the Moon. It came out in '86. Traditional metal meets prog rock. It's all cosmic sci-fi concepts. You get all the cool like galloping riffs that come from new wave of British heavy metal in the early '80s at that time. But you know, you get that prog rock stuff and lots of textures of early Rush, and the vocal time sounds like Geddy Lee. It's filled with time changes, lots of interesting stuff. So yeah, I recommend it to anybody. Actually, at least on this vinyl copy, for a band that was so little known, to actually, it sounds pretty damn good, I'd say. Like in terms of quality of the production. So yeah, a real sort of '80s hidden gem. And I did a post of this thing on Instagram, and other than a couple people, no one knows. No one really knows these guys, so that was pretty cool. And then the band sent me a note to thank me for posting.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Billy, aren't they from BC?
Correct me. Vancouver.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're a vinyl collector, it's out there now. Like, so if you can, look them up at your local vinyl places, I imagine it's probably available in Europe too. They would probably be the bigger buyers of it. So that's what I got.
Wicked. Well, that's cool. Ken, what have you got for us?
Well, there is another tour announcement. Again, sadly, it's not coming to Toronto. Well, I've already seen them, but they're doing another tour. So Gwar is going back on a fall tour to do the Return of Gorgor, which is their like toxic dinosaur creature who actually did make an appearance at the Toronto show a few weeks back, which is kind of cool. But they're going back on tour with Helmet, the Dwarves, and Blood Vulture. So they will be celebrating 40 years of the band's history. They do have some Canadian dates coming out. So they're making stops in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and somewhere else in BC. So they have 4 stops there. Unfortunately, no
Halifax.
No, yeah, I know. They're not even doing the East, which is a crime to me. But what are you gonna do? And so it starts October 18th, and then it ends in their hometown in Virginia on November 22nd. So that's too bad. I would like to see that tour. Mind you, I've already seen them a couple weeks ago, but I checked them out again if they came here. But unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. And then the only other thing that I picked up just a couple of days, last week I think it was. I'm a huge collector of soundtracks. So film soundtracks, film scores. Most of mine are like horror, science fiction, fantasy. So I picked up Simon Boswell's score to Demons 2.
Oh yeah.
This is an Italian horror flick from the early 80s. Gory as hell. I'm a huge Simon Boswell fan, so I love his work. Yeah, Simon's did a lot of work. He's worked with Clive Barker. He's worked with a lot of artists over the years, a lot of movies. But yeah, I picked that up and I was like, oh, great, I got to get this. And anyone who knows Claudio Simonetti, who is part of Goblin, scored all the George R. Romero zombie films, is actually scored the first film, Demons. This was Simon Boswell, first American to do the soundtrack for this movie. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I'm really into it. I love listening to soundtrack music. So, but that's about all I have for this week.
Oh, wicked. I don't really have any news items. I got finally in the mail. I forgot I ordered it last year, but I got the new Jerry Cantrell album
Yes.
for I Want Blood. It's actually really, really good. I like it. Kind of wanted it. Obviously, I forgot I ordered it. It got canceled or got delayed so many times. It must have fell back in my my history, and then it just arrived. I was like, oh yeah, I ordered that. That was cool. So, and then just right before the podcast, I got my new Game Over, the latest Game Over.
Yeah, you got it.
CD,
cool.
Face the End. Yeah, it's not even opened yet. I just got it like 20 minutes before the podcast. So can't wait to break into that. But amazing. And I know, Ken, you did a review for Allfather.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys said, no, what a great thrash album. I really, really like it. Yep. So
pretty
that's
solid.
really, really neat. Some new stuff there, but that's all I got. Not really any news or anything, but I man, I can't believe I as soon as this is over, I'm going to be looking for those Aussie cans. That's for sure.
I think they're all sold out, maybe, but
I can't believe that. Like, I'm shocked.
Holy shit!
Like, I can't believe that.
$450 a can.
Okay, I stand corrected. $450. Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So we're gonna flick right. So that is crazy. I mean, I just picture this empty can coming in a sealed baggie, like just and people trying to check for fingerprints.
Can you guys see this?
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. It's crushed.
Yeah, I see it.
And yeah, like Aussie, it looks like they have I don't know if that's a real Aussie signature on each one. So you actually get an what do you call it? A card of authenticity.
Oh yeah,
or something with it. So I don't know.
Well, that looks like it's actually in a case because that's probably
like a plastic bottle or something.
Yeah, well, like a Star Wars figure. Like I've got some graded stuff where it's behind plexiglass, kind of.
Yeah,
that's what that looks like. Yeah,
official DNA sample.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I just picture Sharon going, "Aussie, you have to drink more."
Exactly.
Oh, Sharon!
And it looks like he kind of squished like each of the cans after he took it.
And then spend an hour in the can pissing it all out.
That's what he would be doing, after every one.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Boy, I tell you, and like, out of all the bands that need more money or performers that need more money, Ozzy is definitely not one of them. Like, I commend him for his, for the Aussie camp's ingenuity, I guess, but like, holy cow, that's just crazy.
You know what though? I'm surprised Gene Simmons hasn't come up with that kind of a concept, because that's something right up his alley.
Yeah.
And I wonder, would it be Ozzy and Sharon, or would it be the water company with all the promo they're getting with that water, with these pictures showing up everywhere on TV?
Oh, they're probably, he's probably, if he's the spokesperson for the kind of the water company, at the last Sabbath concert, that's going to be there for sale. And it's probably part of the contract. There's so many cans and he signs them or whatever. Yeah, it's true. It's probably part of his his deal with them, which is probably pretty lucrative.
And didn't the band pull out of that show now? I saw a report.
Yeah, they were saying at first Megadeth, or they were saying at first, I don't know if it's Megadeth or Dave Mustaine, but it's not him. Kelly Osbourne said it's somebody else, but I don't think they released it yet. I didn't see it as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody, they won't say who it is.
Okay,
I don't know if they got pulled out or they got dropped. I heard
everybody said, like, all the magazines were, all the online, the big sites were saying it was Tool.
Oh,
But
okay.
then Sharon confirmed it's not Tool.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I
And
mean,
then just,
maybe it's
I guess, a
Megadeth. I
bit of
don't know.
news. You can get the live stream for the Black Sabbath show. I think it's 20. I don't know what if that's Canadian, $22 or something.
Well, that's
Might
not
be
bad.
pounds.
It could be. I couldn't tell when I was on looking at it.
Uh,
I
Times
didn't
it
bother
by
getting
two
it.
for Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently it's logged. So it's going to be. I think it's an hour behind or 30 minutes behind. It's not live.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
while the concert's going on, it starts, but you're getting it after the people who are obviously there,
yeah.
Sure.
which I
I
guess
think
is
I
fair
heard it's
enough.
10 hours.
Sorry.
I heard it's 10 hours in total.
Yeah, I think
10
it's
Like the
pretty
hours?
show
long.
is 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy,
Oh, with
that's a
all
long
those
time.
bands, right? All those musicians.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus.
Well, he's getting a send off.
Yeah. God.
It's like a
Well,
whole day night thing.
that's crazy.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Well, more power to him, I guess. It sold out in a matter of minutes. So, and I know Billy, you were thinking about going, but then you're glad you didn't get tickets, eh?
Yeah, it's just because the hotel soared and the flight soared, and
Yeah.
right, like it's not exactly in downtown London where there's a
No.
lot more hotels. So, yeah, like the price would have been a crazy expense.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. And for what you're getting, he's gonna be sitting in a big chair.
Yeah.
True.
Anyways.
And when is
Hey,
that? That's this weekend?
yeah. I think it's
Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big day.
Wow.
'Cause I thought it was a July day.
Maybe it's next weekend.
Yeah, maybe it's next weekend, but like I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I just seem to remember July something was a date.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe next week.
Oh, cool. So we're going to head into, as I said earlier, we're going to be covering Lights, Camera, Revolution by Suicidal Tendencies, the 1990 release. Not really going to go into the band too much since we've already done an album by them, and generally most people know what we're talking about. But we'll get right into the questions here. There's So what do you guys think of the lineup for this album? Start with you, Ken. A lot of people say this is the classic lineup, probably the most famous lineup. What's your thoughts on the lineup for this album?
Yeah. Obviously, it is. I mean,
Yeah,
Clark and George, both, lead and rhythm, and they're both great guitar players. And then you have Robert joining the band here. And then,
yeah,
what was his name?
Herrera, yeah,
Herrera. Yeah, so I mean that's a classic lineup for sure. Everyone knows it. It sounds great. Though
yeah.
every song is pretty damn good. There's not one bad song on the album.
No,
Music is
exactly.
fantastic. It's full of great riffs. Like, yeah, you can't go wrong with it with that
Yeah,
album,
yeah,
with that lineup. To me, it's just too bad the lineup wasn't there long term. But for a few years, you got
yeah.
a good solid lineup. But yeah, it's a good lineup.
And there is lots of good bass parts in this album too that
Oh
really
yeah.
showcases Torillo's playing. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's always nice when a bass player gets a chance to be up in the mix of any metal record because it's often most bass players they tend to be pushed back or they get lost in the shuffle or so it's nice to hear that, and you definitely get it here on several songs.
Yeah, yeah. Billy, your thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, same as Ken. Like I mean, for me, it's not even close. Like it's a joke to even try to compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I agree. Everybody's great. I think Robert really made a big difference, though. I don't think we're doing him enough justice, right?
Mhm.
The funky parts and the jazzy parts, and the fact that he was on the Infectious Groove albums
Right.
kind of shows you that when you get these funky songs, and there's at least one, maybe two, where he has writing credits on this album
Mhm.
for the music, and it's all the funky, like jazzy type stuff, right? So that's right up his alley. So yeah, I think he adds a lot more than he gets, just because the rest of the guys, like Ken said, the guitar guys are amazing. So he still kind of gets a bit overshadowed. But although hell, you could also just say, let's just say it, Rocky George probably doesn't get as much credit
Oh,
as
he's great,
him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anytime I see a top guitar list, you
He's
got
on it.
Slayer, you got Megadeth, you never see like Rocky on any of those lists. But
Yeah, he never
sadly,
gets his due, Billy. He never gets his due.
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly, right. And Ken, you kind of hit on it, right? Like also like I think like Mike Clark is underrated too, right? He has
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
totally.
great like really memorable riffs on this album. So
Yep.
but yeah, again, like he's not normally you think Hetfield, when you think of great rhythm guitar players, he doesn't normally come up, but he's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we'll stay with you, Billy, for the next one. What's your thoughts on Suicidal Tendency? I mean, being one of the godfathers of crossover, obviously. What do you think of their? They've been cited as so many influences for so many bands. One of my favorite bands, Children of Bodom, always used to talk about Suicidal Tendencies and how they used to, they kind of was one of their main influences when they got into more of a technical death grindcore kind of sound, but I mean they were just there for them. What do you hear their music in other bands, or do you know of other bands that have cited them as their influence?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because when I think of Suicidal, right, like the first two albums, I mean, it doesn't even compare to the album we're talking about today, right? So, like, when I hear people cite them, I tend to hear them talking about those early more punk, hardcore type albums, the first two, which is not what I really like. So, so yeah, it's hard for me to talk about that. Because when I started liking them, I could see maybe the opposite question coming up, them being influenced by like early, like, because when they wanted to get more into thrash, right? They didn't invent so already by the time they started getting their thrashier sound, you had DRI, Cryptic Slaughter, you had all kinds of bands who were doing it. I mean, you have to think they were influenced by those bands. So they had to be heavily influenced themselves to bring in that thrash sound because they weren't the first to do that. So, but yeah, I don't really know like a lot of bands who would cite this album. I'm not a big Children of Bodom fan, so I don't
know.
Yeah, if that's the case, or so yeah, I don't have any other examples specifically, but but not to like this music is so cool and so influential that I'm sure there had to be a lot of people influenced, particularly by this album, right? Because this has like like 3 or 4 different styles all rolled into one, and no song sounds the same.
Nope.
Like, every song sounds different, and so there had to have been lots of bands that have been influenced by that and bringing funk metal in. But again, when I think of like funk metal, like a lot of the bands were doing it before this album. So yeah, so I don't have a lot of good examples, I guess. All that rambling to say I don't have a lot of good examples of people who cited this album as an influence.
Ken, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Billy in that sense, but I think I don't know, I kind of group them in the same category as like say Corrosion of Conformity, Bad Brains, and even Body Count. They're all kind of
good point.
Similarly style bands with sort of like punk, some rap. Like, yeah, I sort of go into that direction. I can't. Maybe the only other band I could think of current, like a modern band, would be the band that Riley, who passed away. What's the name of that
Power
band?
Trip.
Power Trip. Yes, thanks, Billy. Power Trip would probably be the only band I could think of offhand. But yeah, I tend to feel the way Billy looks at it. Like, it's hard to say who influenced who first. All the music is coming around the same time. So I would assume all these bands that we're talking about all influence each other in some ways. Hell, and even if you go to more like the punk side, like Black Flag and bands like that, they all pretty much agnostic fronts. Bands of that nature have all come. So I think it's all relative in some ways, like the punk, thrash, there's a kind of a symbiosis for all these styles, but I can't really say who influenced who first.
Well, I agree. I think there's a lot of I mean, even Kerry King has said that when they were going through the mid '90s and or sorry the mid to late '90s stuff, they were listening to a lot of Suicidal Tendencies as well. But I mean, and Killswitch Engage was another band. It's kind of weird because they're not at all from the same genre at all. So like Children of Bodom, Killswitch Engage, but I mean, I guess to be a fan is to be a fan of of anything. But an interesting question. So with Suicidal Tendencies kind of sorted past, they were banned in LA for so many years. They've got gang affiliations back in the day, all this stuff going around. This album, I mean, was their best-selling album of all time. I think it went gold in the US. Why do you guys think that like You Can't Bring Me Down video was just played like crazy on MTV and Much Music, even on the metal shows that they have? Why do you think do you think it was the lineup? Do you think it was just the time? Do you think it's just how good the album is? Do you think it's more better representation in some way to get them? Like, where did this just become sort of, I mean, in 1990 this was, and I remember watching at the end of 1990 Much Music used to have a thing called Power Picks from the year before, so this would have been in 91 right after New Year's, and this album was, I think, #1 on that show, or this song for You Can't Bring Me Down, the video. And why do you think they just hit it so big with this album, with the video? Seemed like everything aligned. Ken, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think it's easy to figure this one out, to be honest. When you were a kid and you wanted to do something and your mom said no, what does no mean to you? No means yes, right? It's the same with this. It gets banned. And I'm sure kids of that time were hearing, "Oh, it's banned. I got to hear this." It's just, it's more attractive to drive you to that music, in my mind. And I think that's the main reason. Of course, it's, I guess, not luck, but peaking. They peaked at the right time. They had the music for them kind of speaks to a young generation at that time. So I think it's in my mind, I think that's how I would view it. So you're being banned. And if you look at the beginning of the video, they had that newspaper clipping, Suicidal Tendencies banned. So
true.
They were aware of it. Obviously, I'm sure they were aware of it. And that song also kind of, it's all about, challenging the establishment. There's even hints at challenging the PMRC. It's not referenced, but it's sort of assumed that's part of what the video is about. So I could say it's a combination of those things for me. I would think.
Great, cool, great answer, Bill. You're probably along the same vein to some degree.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's the whole banning thing, but I mean, to be honest, if I don't think that was a big thing. I think at the end of the day, 89, 90 is the peak of metal. This is a damn good song, right? Like, I mean, and you think about a band being banned, but I mean, Ken would know the lyrics better than I. But the overall high level message, "You Can't Bring Me Down," it's fairly positive. It's got some great comical lines in it, like "You don't know crazy till you see Charles Manson eating fruit," and the song kicks ass, right? Like. You had early rap starting too, which was far more violent and trouble than this, and that was getting played, like NWA and stuff. That had no problem getting played, and I just think it's a damn good song. It was a message to pick up on. I bet the corporate guys who ran MTV, they probably don't know half the shit they were playing were bands that were in trouble somewhere. I just think it's, Ken said timing. I agree with that. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's a kick-ass song. And even some of the vocally, it's almost like, like Mike Muir's like yelling the vocals, but it's somewhat in a rap style to some degree.
A little bit,
Like I
yeah.
could see like a big crossover audience, right? Beyond the metal fans really liking it. And then that message, right? You can't bring me down. And there's some swearing, right? So yeah, it's naughty, I guess. But at the end of the day, right time, metal's flying high, and it's just a damn good song.
And I love in the video when all the fans are dressed inside it, kind of like the Suicidal with the hats with the up, the beaks turned up, and they're all just knocking the fence down. So it's like, it is pretty cool. It's a good statement for sure. I agree. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
Leading into this other question, which is kind of a fluff question, but I got to ask it anyways, because I'm just kind of, so in 91, this song got nominated for a Grammy, which, was, I believe it's their only Grammy nomination, but they lost to the big Metallica machine of a cover, Stone Cold Crazy. Ken, what's your thoughts of that? I mean, I'm just going to speak first, and my thoughts are,
go for it.
Metallica's great. Yeah, I love Metallica. Back then, loved Metallica. Great. But a cover song versus like an original song, I know we don't put much weight in the Grammys or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or anything like that, but my God, like, why wouldn't, I know the Black Album would have won it the year before, I think. And then, like, what the hell, or the year after, like, I'm shocked that it would lose to a cover track. What's your thoughts, Ken?
Well, again, see, so Jim, it just goes back to the fact that they got dissed originally, Metallica.
Yeah.
And I think that it's obvious that they knew that. So when it came time for them to come back, you're gonna pick a Metallica song because you have that ace on your face. What, you picked Jethro Tull, and the fact that they're not even a metal band, and people were calling out like, wait a minute, it's not metal. Like, how do you compare Jethro Tull to Metallica? You don't. You just don't. So I think the egg's on their face. So obviously, I think they're aware of it, and so obviously, well, Metallica, sure, come back. You got a cover song. It's an okay cover song. I don't mind the song. I would agree that this song here should have won the Grammy.
Yeah,
hands down. But I don't know. It's sign of the times. Metallica was the biggest band on the planet.
True.
And at that point, everyone bowed down to them. That's it.
Billy, what's your thoughts on? I mean, I know your thoughts on the Grammys, anyways. But
I mean, their opinions are kind of worthless in my mind. But I don't know. Like, I mean, the Academy's a bunch of people familiar with mainstream music who votes.
Yeah.
So they're going to know Stone Cold Crazy. They're not going to know any other metal song ever that comes through. So I can understand why the Academy would pick it, because it's something they would be a little probably closer, at least, to actually knowing the song versus You Can't Bring Me Down. As Ken said, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the injustice, I guess that's the injustice for Metallica of them not winning to Jethro Tull. They should win every, and then there was no metal category for punk.
That's right.
There was no metal category. So I mean, Metallica has owing like 5, 6, 7, 8 awards as far as I'm concerned. So
true.
Let them keep getting them. I don't care what they're for. And if anything, most of the Grammys, the Academy voters are in California.
Yeah.
If anybody would understand the potential, like, color and gang color thing. And I don't think it was as widely understood across North America.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody would understand that, it would be those California Grammy voters who probably took extra sensitivity to those blue colors, right? If it was in New York, maybe not so much. If it was in, I don't know, Florida, no. But having it in California, where the most of them are based, I don't know. That probably didn't help Suicidal.
What do you guys think? Just a last little question that I just thought of while we were talking about this. Billy, what do you think that if winning the Grammy would have done for them?
Absolutely
Anything?
nothing. Like there's
Nothing.
no self-respecting metal band who's gonna go out on their next album and say Grammy Award winner. Like it could, because like I don't know. Like I'm surprised some people go. Like yeah, I
Yeah.
know Death Angel was nominated somewhat recently and they went. I guess you go because you got nominated, but
Yeah.
it's almost like it's the wrong kind of street cred to get for particularly
Good
for a
point.
band, right? It's you don't want to advertise that. But I guess in fairness to them, it's kind of cool to have it on your
Well, it's
mantle too, right? So you
Yeah.
don't get it.
prestige, right,
Yeah.
Billy? It's still prestige to have it.
Yeah, it's prestige, but I don't know. Like I don't get I don't give them any more respect for winning a Grammy just because I know how meaningless it is.
That's true.
So true.
It's just totally random who wins it.
Ken,
Yeah.
your thoughts are obviously roughly the same.
Yeah, the same. I mean, like I don't know. I mean, I guess when you're still being recognized, even if it's a meaningless award, I guess the dopamine, you get that, oh, you're being
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
recognized. So I guess that's the way they would look at it. Like, like metal kind of is like an outsider genre to a lot of people. Normies don't know much about metal.
Right.
So, I mean, so I guess if you're a metal musician and you get that that nomination, I guess it means something to some degree. But Billy's right. It's the award
Well,
itself is pointless.
I would almost, if I was a metal musician, rather win those like MTV metal awards, right?
Oh yeah, like the
Yes.
ones. Yeah.
Right? Like that's the street cred, right? That's the fan base saying you are one of the best metal bands.
Absolutely.
Not a bunch of 50, 60-year-old guys who never heard a metal record.
Well, Bill Manspeaker from Green Jelly, the lead singer, really the only main member, he's always showing off because they were nominated back in the early 90s. I don't know when, but his nomination, they send you a big, not a trophy, but a big plaque being nominated. And I guess it's pretty cool. So I would assume definitely it's probably kind of neat to be nominated like that for sure,
Well, it's something you put on your office there, Jim.
Yeah, or on your mantle. Yeah, exactly.
Wherever,
Now, if you're a band, do you get one for each member, or do you have to share it?
I don't know, because for that first album for Green Jelly, who was it? James Maynard Keenan from Tool was in there, wasn't he? They had some,
right.
Yeah, he had some good. He had some really good players in that band that went on to do other stuff.
Well, you know how Green Jelly worked, right? He's a one-man band, so whenever town he went in, he just recruited local musicians to be in his band. That's how it was. So he gave you the illusion that Green Jelly was this great big kind of war-style machine.
Yeah.
And in actuality, they weren't. It was just a one-man band who had players in every city he went to.
And they tour like crazy. So, and he just has it set up. No, it's pretty cool. It's kind of a cool thing.
And it's also disappointing that the medal's given like in the early afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. Again, it just shows you the Academy, like they don't even care. Like, you're not going to be, you're not even part of the main ceremony.
You're with best light or what is it? Best bass or something like that.
Yeah, well, lighting's the main one, right? Audio's in the main, the lighting, I don't know.
They do that with the Academy Awards as well, right? Like all the meaningless kind of tech awards are done even before the show starts at 9:00.
Yeah.
So
not to go off on a tangent though, Ken, but do they even have a horror bracket for the Academy? Like, is there an Academy Award for it now? Was there?
No, it's just like visual effects, and in most cases, big sci-fi or horror movie will get nods. I mean, horror movies have gotten a lot of nods at the Oscars over the years. Like Silence of the Lambs got won one year, and Exorcist won awards. I mean, so some of those classic films have won awards, but they don't have a specific category.
You think they would though? For the fan, I know it's supposed to be the best of the best, but you got to have I know you got your best male actor, your best female actor, whatever, but I think it'd be pretty cool to have that, and then just have 6 horror films duke it out for the best horror film of the year.
It's a cool idea.
It'd be kind of cool. you
But
know.
then I guess you got to, in fairness, you got to do like best martial arts movie, or then you have to do like best comedy,
Good point,
and
Billy.
you open it up, and like you can't just do one of them.
It's like 9 days. Anyways.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, we'll jump right into the album here. So, Lights, Camera, Revolution, released in 1990. First song. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, Ken, start us off with "You Can't Bring Me Down."
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, as Billy was mentioning earlier, like it's got a clear message. So it's a statement about censorship, societal judgment, which Mike Muir loves to write about in most of the songs. It's defiant. It's got that kind of defiant anthem. It's great. I mean, the guitars are big on it, so that's one I like about this. Like it's pure thrash. Probably the best song on the album, more or less for me. And that chorus, it's and I think having the video really helped.
Yeah.
Because when you watch that video, Mike is like, he gets executed, he gets taken away. So I could see a lot of people really getting into that, like, oh wait, what's happening to Mike? And you mentioned, Jimmy, at the end when the fence comes down. It's such a great metaphor. The fence is coming down, and then there's all these the kids are all from different ethnic backgrounds. It's not just like a bunch of white people. It's like Hispanics, there's black kids, there's white kids. It's great. It's such a great song. But yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, I agree. I think the inclusiveness of the kids in the video, and then he's wearing like the LA Kings jersey and it's like street. It's like what you probably, me being in the suburbs of Nova Scotia, thinking of what like maybe the LA lifestyle on the street is, and then you have that, and then mixed with the background in the video of like Trip of the Brain, where he's again being hooked up to machines. And I mean, he's always got these really cool sort of mental health, other all kinds of medical stuff going on in all his videos from his previous albums. And I think this is really cool. No, I agree with the video as well. Billy, your thoughts on the song?
Yeah, it's great. Like it's either it's the best or one of the top two or something like that. But yeah, it's a long song, almost 6 minutes. So I like the way it kind of opens with kind of the slow intro, Rocky's early guitar playing, such feel and emotion. Like that's what he's so good at, right? Like a lot of people could play fast, but a lot of people can't do thrash and have the feel and have the emotion, right? If other than people named Marty Freeman. But yeah, so I like that opening because it builds the tension for when the thing just bursts out of the gate.
Oh yeah.
Like I love it when Mike's just, what the hell is going on around here? Then it's just all hell breaks loose, and again, Mike's just Mir's shouting out the vocals. It's really cool, like great chorus. I talked about it before. I like the messaging, a lot of funny little parts, and Mike does this a lot, right? He directs the music in a couple of songs, right? Because here he'll just be out of the blue, tell him what's up, Rocky, and then we get like that amazing guitar solo and that slow passage at 350. It's exactly what you want. It's all aggressive, slow it down for a bit and then let it take off again. It's a great song. I love it. I think it's a perfect song.
And I think just, what I love about it is the kind of the dueling guitars that work together so good on this album. And then even when they go into a rhythm guitar and then one solo, it's almost like you're getting two solos wrapped in one. It's really, really cool. But I love at the end too, when he's got his headband on and he's, and he's just whispers kind of suicidal, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Like it's almost, I kind of always thought, man, they could be their own gang. Like it could be the Suicidal Tendencies gang, it's pretty cool. No, I share it with you guys. I think it's just the mix of the rhythm and lead guitars on it. And I just, I kind of consider it goes at 3:46 into a bit of a melodic interlude where he's just kind of singing softly. and then it just erupts again. And it's just, I mean, this is just what a way to start an album. And I think, we talk about so many bands that bookend albums. They either started strong or they ended strong or they do it. This is a classic one where you started with your big hit single, and why not just throw it on there and just get that one done. But I mean, Billy, take us into song 2 for Lost Again. I think it's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and just before I do that, I just to add to the first one, that's always like the last 10 times I saw Suicidal over the years, they always open with that song.
Really?
So it's you would think maybe they'd close, but no, it's always open. Even like a month ago when I saw them with Metallica opening, that's the first song always. And it's so cool the way, like, because you know how it starts slow. Like Mike hides backstage, he's nowhere to be found. And the minute the song picks up and his lyrics are about to start, he comes running from in back of the arena. And like when he sings those lyrics, he's just hopping like from one end of the stage to the other, nonstop. He never sits still to sing these songs, or that song in particular. So it's so awesome to see them do that live.
And even at his age, he's still so active, is he?
Yeah, so he's still very. Although I will say, seeing like now they're doing the Metallica tour, he's probably slowed slightly, but he's still nonstop moving. Like he's burning like probably 1,000 calories a show easy. But yeah, I did notice he's slightly slower, but that's okay. He's getting a bit older, so. So go back to Lost Again. So yeah, another great song. And I think I mentioned it before. What's so amazing about this album, none of the songs are repetitive.
Yes.
They have their own, I don't know, what do you get? Their own life, their own feel. They're all slightly unique. A lot of them come back to thrash at times, but they're all very different. So yeah, this just has, like many of the songs, these killer grooves to them that just kind of, they become addictive, and you're just moving along with them. The main riff is great. I like Mike's, like he's in that more of his laid back crooning style versus his shouting style. And like when he does that, like he's such a good singer. Like everything's a vocal hook, everything's catchy. Like we talk about the instruments and how good they are, but Mike's vocals make every song as memorable as any instrument does. So kudos to that. I think that's great. There's some layering of Mike's vocals at time that works well. He's singing on top of himself. Then it gets super heavy at like 2:15. Again, this is not a band to be cookie cutter, right? They'll shift it up. Shifting tempos, fast and heavy comes back again, and some great riffs by Mike Clark, and that 4-minute solo or at 4 minutes by Rocky. Again, I talked about it before. It's never just about the shredding. It's about the feel of that solo, and he has a lot of feel to what he does. So yeah, I like it a lot.
Ken, your thoughts on Lost Again?
Yeah, it's a good song. I mean, obviously what Billy said is pretty much stands for the song.
Yeah.
I think Mike's vocals play well off the music, and I think that's the important part. So
yeah,
with Rocky being such a, I guess with his guitar, he's able to reach that kind of feel and the vibes. The vocals play off that, so it's great. So you get lots of crunch. Always get really good chorus with their songs, and that pummeling chug, and then the metaphor, the idea of war against reality, and all the struggle. That's a theme with Mike's writing. So you get it here. But yeah, this is another good song. It's never boring. There's always something that you'll pick up with your ear. But I like the song as well.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I find it's got a cool, heavy, sludgy groove to it. And I like Mike's vocals being sort of, like Billy said it good with his crooning, a kind of a slower, lower register. But it's different than the first song, and the third song's different than this. And I agree with you guys. You get a different package for every song. It's not, in some albums we review, by the fourth song, we're kind of just, it's kind of a rehash, kind of to some degree. There's no rehash at all. It's, and I think it's a great 1-2 punch song on the album. Ken, take us into track 3 with Alone.
Yeah, Alone's all right. It's not one of my favorite songs on the album. I had to pick one that I disliked. Well, I didn't dislike, but they have to go in certain orders. The song's okay. It's got the slow start, and then 50 seconds in, the song just bursts, and it goes pretty well. Like, it's got catchy lyrics. I like the tempo it picks up after 125, and yeah, it's a solid song. And again, the lyrics are what Mike likes to write about: isolation, living in emotional turmoil, and there's also there's an anthemic feel to the track as well. But yeah, it's a solid song.
Cool.
Okay.
Billy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's another good song. I like the opening. It's kind of like a slow and gentle opening, and really Rocky shines at the beginning of this. It's not your traditional solos, but he has all these, like, I don't know, what do you like, guitar flourishes? Maybe you call them a solo. I don't know, but it's not in your traditional place in the song. Like another, like they're so good at like hooking onto a groove, and that's again applies here, like we said. As Ken said, I like the way it slowly builds in speed and aggression. That's really cool. It's got a musically, it's got a mix of different stuff in there. So yeah, it's a good job. I like it.
Yeah, me too. It starts off kind of in that like ballad type format, but then at 56 seconds, the song just takes off. I agree with you guys. You guys said it all. I mean, Mike's vocals on it is again another version of Mike's vocals. And I mean, it's just, Ken said it on the last song that Mike's vocals play well with the guitars and with the bass, like with the instruments, so good off this song. It's like almost like, I don't know what they write first. If it's when they're doing the song, do they do the vocals? Do they do the music? Whatever. But man, whatever on this album, boy, did it ever work, because it just seems like one suits the other like a perfectly fitting glove. And that leads us into a song kind of a neat song 4, which is the song that has Robert's writing credit on it. Lovely. It's kind of cool, kind of funny in parts, but I think this has got some really good bass work on it. Obviously Robert had a writing credit on this, so that's pretty good. Billy, we'll continue with you. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I love this song, right? It's not, certainly I wouldn't call this a thrash,
no,
a crossover thrash song, but like, cause this goes back to my love of like 70s jazz fusion.
Yeah.
Which I know like Robert and Rocky love just like I do. They're always talking about it. And so, yeah, you hit it on the head. This is where first time you really feel Robert and his diverse musical background. His bass playing, he's really good there. Like, and again, this is like a funky song and Mike fits in. Like, and this is something, this song and, I don't know, maybe Send Me Your Money or these sort of set the stage for what was going to come in their side project, right? Like, that all makes sense. Like, Infectious Grooves. Like at 150, I love it musically where you got Robert and Rocky just shredding on the bass and guitar. That's such a cool section. Yeah, it's a different kind of song. Like if you're closed-minded, you're not going to be a big fan of it. But yeah, then I like the cool funky section at the end, and as who was it? What's his name? In that famous Saturday Night Live set, need more cowbells because it ends. Somebody slamming the cowbell.
Christopher Walken,
Who is it?
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I kept thinking Will Ferrell, but I knew that wasn't right.
He was in it.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah, that's right. He was in it. Yeah,
he was the cowbell guy.
Yeah, cowbell guy. Yeah, need more cowbell.
But that's cool. Like the cowbells work. I like it.
Ken, what's your thoughts of Lovely?
Well, I think the one thing, pretty much Billy hit every major point on the song. The one thing that I do like about the fact that Mike has a sense of humor. So when the lyrics are they're fake, like the song Lovely, it's upbeat and ironic, but at the same time, he's just mocking the idea of being happy. So I think there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor to the song. But yeah, it's great. I mean, you get a different side to the band with the funky grooves, and the chorus. So I like it. It's different for the album.
I kind of liken it to one of their tracks on one of their earlier albums for "I Saw Your Mommy." So
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's
yes.
kind of, and I agree. You guys hit it on the head with the side project for Infectious Grooves. I mean, I think the first one was the Plague That Made Your Body Move. It's the Where the Infectious Grooves, and they have that song. They do Therapy, and Ozzy's a guest on it for that on that Infectious Grooves. But yes, this. And I would agree, number 7 definitely has that groovy sort of foundational sound for what they're going to bring out on their side project, which I think is pretty good. That's a great point. So those albums were great. I think there was, I don't know how many there were. I know I have 3. I think I've got that one. The second one was Sarsupia Sark. And the third one, I think, was still Psycho. I think it was, or
so Psycho after all these years.
Yeah, all these, or Psycho, like family Psycho. I can't remember the third one. Anyways, it had Psycho in it. So, but now, Ken, take us away to Get Whacked. Or sorry, Give It Revolution. I'm jumping ahead here. Sorry.
I like this song
number
too.
5.
This is a really good thrash song because it's got the serious chug at the start, and the guitars really rip here. And I just love how they pick up some energy with the song itself. And then, they add these great lyrics. Of course, it's all about breaking free and being defiant against oppression. So it's a standard for Mike. But it's got a good chorus, and I like that tempo when it speeds up at about 3 minutes or just a little over 3 minutes. It picks up, and it's got a really good, lively solo. But I like the song. It's pretty solid.
Cool. Billy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a song on here. I think this Ken hit a lot of the what I would say about it. It's but I mean the chorus is simple, but just Mike saying "Give It Revolution," like where I talked about his voice being like a vocal hook, like it's just so memorable. I love it. He's so smooth. It's just addictive. It sticks with you. It's not your standard yelling and screaming that we're used to with crossover thrash. So yeah, I think it's great. And as Ken said, the more aggressiveness that kicks in for the final minute is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit it all. I think it's a great track, and again, like here we are on track 5, heading into track 6, and Mike has put on a vocal performance that is different on every track, and I think that's the key to why this album is so interesting and so good. And again, I go back to the comment there that Ken made, where it's his vocals working so well with man. They wrote these songs like it was almost perfection, putting them together. And I feel that way. Really, really like it, and really think it's good. Billy, what's your thoughts of number 6, Get Whacked?
Yeah, it's I like it again. Like I'm gonna sound like a broken record, I guess. This one kind of opens with unusually, like kind of like an orchestra warming up type of thing at the start of the song. But yeah, it starts heavy. It's more aggressive. It feels different, definitely in the last couple that we just talked about. I mean, much of the vocals is some kind of variant of whack or get whacked or whack whack whack. So it's a bit simplistic. I mean, but yeah, it's just, but this is where I'll call out the drumming. This song actually has some of the strongest, interesting drumming here. He really gets the limelight. Some of the fills and stuff really stands out. And, Mike Clark, some great rhythms that fuel this thing. Again, we've said it, but he deserves more credit. Yeah, I just think it's another good song, not a copy of anything else. And it kind of, it's a little more aggressive, and it makes track number 7 a nice change of pace.
Ken, what's your thoughts on Getting Whacked?
Yeah, this song is it proves that Mike has like this alter ego that he's fashioned in the band, and like his alter ego is that there's a guy who's reaching a breaking point, and he digs into his own madness as a way to empower himself. That's generally, I think, how he likes to come across in songs. So you get it here, right? So he's like, I'm tired of always doing as I'm told, and I'm whacked. I don't care no more. Like it's great. Like he has a real connection to that kind of thing, which is why I think with this album in specifically, a lot of young kids were really attracted to the music because he he's dialed in to youth culture of the time. But it's a great song. It's a really good song. You can't go wrong with this song at all.
No, wicked. I agree. I mean, I love that sort of classical intro with the horn. The horns sound cool in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I think it's a pretty neat song, and yeah, I mean, it leads into track 7, which Ken, take it away. This is one of my favorites on the album as well. But take it away.
Yeah, send me your money. Obviously, it's got the funky groove.
Yeah,
it's very much Anthrax. There's a lot of Anthrax vibes here because they would write songs like that where it's got this kind of semi-humorous, funky groove, and they do it here. There's lots of sing-along vibes, I think, with the song. So of course, it's a satirical song about the corruption of religion, which is a staple for like what you got in the '80s. But yeah, this is a really good song too. I like it.
Oh, and that opening bass riff this is a bass laden song. So this is another song that they really put Robert kind of front and center on.
Yeah.
I love it. Billy, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well. No surprise. I mean, this thing is just like, it's the funky bass. You guys talked about it, but there's actually some of Clark's like riffs are kind of moshy. Like it's kind of cool mixed in there, and I like Mike's vocals. Right, it's almost like he's kind of doing like a preacher kind of rap rant type of, if you will, right? It's almost like he's preaching in his vocal delivery, like the approach he's using. So I mean, just the riffs, the bass, Mike's vocal delivery, and just Robert getting to shine on the bass, like that's really cool. And this is what, like the preachers, the Bakers, I guess, were the
Swagger, yeah, it's basically all the combination of what happened in the '80s with religion.
Like, did the Bakers come up in Chuck's Spiritual Healing?
Well, the cover,
yeah,
that's on the cover. So,
did they ever cite the Bakers, or they never cited?
I don't think they actually in the song itself.
Maybe not.
The cover does allude to it. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
And Iron Maiden's
lyrically though, I don't think.
In Iron Maiden's Holy Smoke, they go after, because one of the lyrics is Jimmy the Reptile and all his friends, and then they talk about the makeup queen's going to get her makeup running, and they do kind of a call out to Jimmy Swaggart and Jimmy, or what is it, Tammy Faye Baker, and
Tammy Faye
must have been. I remember in the early '90s and late in the '80s, that was all the rage. I mean, everybody was. And then when it all came out, like that they were all ripping people off from that, it just was like,
and fake.
What a blow to the gut. But anyways, so many songs about that. Yeah,
lots.
Cool. Ken, take us away on song number. We are already at song number 8, Emotion number 13.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say here. It's all right. It's one of the songs where I think it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's writing all these lyrics about how he feels I think it's a personal song to him, that how his personal expectations impact his life. So that's what you get here. There is that nice guitar shift about 145 with the tempo, which I like. But it's an okay song. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a lot more to say about it.
Yeah. Bill, what's your thoughts on Emotion number 13?
Yeah, I actually like it quite a bit. Like it's, I mean, Rocky shines, some great rhythms to it. Ken already called out, like it's able to shift with ease between some of the slower and heavier parts, which again, it takes some good musicianship to pull that off, so it doesn't sound fake. But my favorite thing about this song is the chorus. And when Mike's actually saying Emotion number 13, like he's saying it with extreme emotion. Like it's where he's kind of wearing his heart on his sleeve the most on this album, I find. And again, I've said it before, like when he does that, it's just a massive vocal hook. Like I love this song mainly for his like singing in the chorus.
Yeah, that's why I say the song's very personal. It comes across as more of a personal song.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I love the build up to it. I love the vocal and the drum intro kind of playing off each other. But yeah, Mike's vocals again on this just shine. Billy, I mean, this is an amazing song. Billy, take us into Disco's Out, Murder's In. I
Yeah.
mean,
So,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Oh,
Go ahead.
Go
okay.
ahead, Billy.
So this is either the fastest song or the second with compared to the first. I don't know which one, but like I love that massive like addictive riff that opens the song. This one feels a little bit more punk and hardcore, showing a
Yeah.
bit more of their roots, but I still like it. I mean, the chorus is so damn anthemic, right? It's simple, right? Disco's out, murder's in, but like you can't not sing along with that stuff. So, and even like towards the end where Mike starts doing that da 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 da.
Yeah.
I mean, you would normally think that would be silly, but it works perfect with the rest of the punk style song because it's out of nowhere. And then like at 2:07, there's them shouting the disco's out, murders in, and Rocky's doing his amazing lead at the same time. Like I love that part of the track, and they just towards the end they kick up the aggressive notch again, and it gets good and thrashy. And I don't know, could I argue maybe this should have been track number 10? I don't know, to end with this monster, but again, small little nitpick. But the song's amazing.
Ken, your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the song title, like Disco's Out, Murder's In, because it's basically the whole point of the song is that they're kind of critiquing the idea of violence in society, which is great, and and it's a fast kind of Anthrax kind of style song. I'll go back to Anthrax because I hear the vibes in it, and it's short, sweet. I don't think it's too long, but it works. It's a really good song. I love the song.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's got that wicked riff intro, and I love the title. I mean, Disco's Out. Disco lasted for only a couple of years, so now Murder's In. So it's you can't get anything better than going back through past on this album or any other Suicidal album where they've got so many good song titles. Again, like I Saw Your Mommy and the like Trip of the Brain and oh man, just it's kind of anthemic in a way too. I really like this track. And yeah, Billy, I can see like Go and Break Down, the last track I really, really do like, but it would have been probably a little bit better to reverse the two. But Ken, take us away to Go and Break Down, the last song number 10.
I think the song is good as well. I mean, Billy was saying that track number 9 should have been track 10, but I don't mind that it ends on this song. Again, there's a lot of Anthrax vibes here. It's got some heavy riffs, big chugs, the chorus and the gang shows. I like when they actually start throwing in the gang shows. It's just it works for the song. Oh, and I love the use of that whammy bar that you hear, and it's so great. It just gives the song that extra punch. And I like the lyrics. Like Mike's like saying, "Psycho's insane. They say I lost my brain, but I gave it away." I love that line. That's like it's so great. But it's all about society and about this rejection of it, and he makes these personal comments about it. But I think it's a good song as well. To end the album, it's decent. It's a decent song.
Billy, your thoughts on the last song, Go and Break Down?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this song, toward the track still builds to like a heavy climax at the end, right?
Yeah.
So when you say you want to go out with a bang, it kind of still does. And you get one of Rocky's most shredding like guitar solos at the end. So they still kind of meet our definition for like a final song, I think. For me, there's no weak song on the album. But if I had to pick my least favorite, it might be this one. But that being said, it's still a great song. Like I like it. And I love the gang vocals, right? There was another song, I forget which one. We all skipped on the gang vocals. They did a good job on that too. But
that was
I forget which one.
Well, there's gang shouts on Disco's Murders.
Yeah, that one for sure. Yeah.
I think there's another one. I think there's like 3 songs where they start.
More up in the first half, there was one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the second half, that's why it surprised me when the second half you start getting the gang shots, which is like just adds another element to the song. It works.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I compare it to Anthrax, because as you know, Anthrax is really big on the gang vocals, and you start getting it here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great song, and don't get me wrong. But if someone's going to hold a gun to my head and say, which song is your least favorite, this is the one I pick.
Okay, that's fair.
But I still like it.
Yeah.
I like it too. I love the title too, Going Breakdown. So it's just like we're leaving it all on the field, so to speak, all on the ice. It's this is it. It's over. And I think it's a great ending. I probably would have liked. I just like Disco's Out Murders in, such a great tune, and it's such a great suicidal song that I just think it would have been a better end. But I think the album for me bookends really, really well for a great starter and a great finish. So you don't get many of these, and this one you definitely do. And I keep saying it, we keep going back to it, but I think Mike's vocals on this album is definitely his strongest album, and I think that just the mix with the musicianship is just, I mean, I wouldn't change a damn thing. It's just so good, and I think it's great, and that's why it's their top selling album of all time. So
my only one complaint is I don't like the album cover.
Oh no, I was going to ask you what your thoughts were on it.
I don't like any of their album covers.
Yeah, they're not very creative and it's weird because their music is great, but they don't put that extra oomph into the album cover to like support. I don't know. It's all right.
What about The Art of Rebellion? That's a good album cover.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind it. Yeah. I'm just saying overall, I never thought they had a really good visual appeal outside of what the band looks like.
True.
And maybe that's the point. Maybe they wanted that kind of, we're a gang, LA gang members. I'm assuming that's what they were trying to communicate.
Yeah, because how will I laugh tomorrow when I can't even smile today? It's just the band on the cover, and that's just kind of like this. They're in front of the Vista, I believe it's a club in LA, and then they've got the ST highlighted, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I think the album covers, and the album before this would have been the Feel Like Shit, Controlled by Hatred. It's kind of a rough drawing type deal. I can see that. Join the Army wasn't bad for an album.
It was actually
cover. Yeah, but it's no, I agree with you 100%. Oh, what's Billy got there?
No, I was just getting the picture of the album.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it, but it's I don't know.
When you think about this time and like all the exciting album covers and at this time period in metal, this is a bit like dull.
Yeah,
very dull. Yeah,
but the music's so good, they don't need an album cover to help sell.
Well, that's true. You're right. Yeah, they don't need the cover. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe that's what they think.
It's funny. Enough. I mean, I know they've got a logo, but it's funny they never came up with sort of a mascot type thing. More so than, I guess they do. They've got that gang member skull that could be, I guess, contrived as Mike Muir, I guess, as a zombie or whatever on all the shirts and that. But it's just funny, this band, it would have fallen right in to have kind of a really cool mascot,
Yeah, it could have.
Yeah,
it could have. But I think, though, a lot of punk bands during that time had like mascots, so maybe they thought, well, we'll do something a bit different. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, that was a great discussion on the album. I mean, one of my favorite albums, and I know it's this is ranked, I think, on, I can't remember which magazine ranked it number 8 of their best thrash albums, not in the big 4. So I could see that for sure.
That's cool. Yeah.
So
that's my top 20 list easy. I don't remember the placing, but yeah.
Yeah. Same with me. This was a great album. No, great discussion, guys. So I decided to copy what Ken's idea was last week, where we're going to do a mixtape, but I decided to just hone in on 1990. So, my God, guys, how hard was this? 1990 is like the epitome of thrash, death, metal. Like,
there's a lot of music going on, dude.
Oh man, death metal alone, you could do a top 10, a mixtape of your own death metal. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, Ken.
So I know exactly what you're saying about, there were so many songs I was going through. Oh, I like this album, but I just always try to pare it down to songs that I remember that I guess I had a strong connection to during the time.
Yeah.
So on side A, I would start with Prong and Beg to Differ, which I really, really like that album. I know we talked about it. It's a good song, pretty solid. And then I would add Megadeth's Holy Wars, which again, that's Rust in Pieces, such a great thrash album. But I always like Holy Wars. It's such a great song. And then I would put Slayer, so I'd go with Dead Skin Mask, which I love the song. I know Billy was saying he finds it he said he found it. What did you say it was kind of cheesy, Billy, with the
new metal?
Hello, Mr. King.
Too new metal.
I love that part. I think that's so great. But I guess your mileage varies, right?
Yeah.
And then the next song I have on Celtic Frost, so I have The Heart Beneath, which I like on that song. I like the fact that it has the it has the female vocals. It has the ooh right at the start of the song because it's sort of his trademark. It's great. And then the end side A, I have Anthrax Keep It in the Family, which I think is a thrash song. Totally love that song. And if I go over to side B, so I'm going to go with a band called Lard.
Lard?
Lard is a band that was formed by Al Jorgensen of Ministry and Jello Biafra, Dead Kennedys.
Oh, okay.
So they only put out 2 albums. It's great. I love the song Fork Boy. The title track, or the song that I think really kicked them off. It's great. It's got Mike Scaccia on guitars in there, so it's got that kind of like hardcore punk thrash vibe to it. It's great. I totally love that song.
Yeah.
Then
I gotta check that out.
What's it? Yeah. Just
I wrote that down.
Yeah, go for it. It's great. I always liked Dead Kennedys, and I like Jello Biafra. He has a very unique voice in music.
Yeah.
But I love them on. I just think it's fantastic. It's a great album. They only have 2 albums, but that's a good one. And then I have Destruction's Crack Brain. That's one of my favorite albums from the 90s from the band. I love that song. And then I'm going to go with another band that's local. Some may know this band, some may not, but I'm going with Mel Havoc.
Oh, yeah.
The Desire. I love Mel Havoc. Jimmy's a friend of mine. I've known Jimmy for a long time. Jimmy Lamortz. It's great. It's sort of like, I guess it's industrial thrash, more or less. It's got a mix of everything. Age of Desire is actually his version of Clive Barker's short story, Age of Desire. So I totally love that. And then I'm going to add on Iron Maiden, Tail Gunner. I love that song. I think it's such high energy. It's one of the last really high energy Maiden songs, because they were always good at putting the opening track on an album was always like a high energy, quick, get to the point song. I like it. I always like Tail Gunner. And then I'm going to end with Dio and Lock Up the Wolves. I love that
That's
song.
a wicked album.
Yeah, it's a great album. I agree with you, but I just love that song, Lock Up the Wolves. But that's my mixtape.
Ken, did you forget about death metal?
No, I didn't.
I'm bugging you.
Yeah, I know. I trust me. I wanted to put stuff on there, but it's so hard.
Potentially the peak of death metal.
I know. Because I wanted to put death on there, of course, like spiritual healing.
I expected
to
have that.
But it's so hard.
Yeah.
We should one day just do a segment on just death metal songs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that would be awesome.
Billy, did you have any doubles there? I had
just one.
I had one.
Yeah, Ken had a few too many like industrial leaning stuff for me.
Yeah.
But that's cool. We all have different tastes. So so I stuck with just 1990. And my whole list is things that came out in 1990. It's hard enough to do 1990, let alone go back to anything else. So these are not in order. I had to go with 12 because there was no way to, but I'll go fast. So Judas Priest, Painkiller, that's got to be on there.
Yep.
Killer comeback record in my eyes, very thrashy song. Then my overlap with Ken, Holy Wars,
Yeah.
Punishment 2, Megadeth, then the masterful OG Swedish death metal, Entombed, the song Drowned from Left Hand Path. Mix it up a bit, Sanctuary, Eden Lies Obscure from Into the Mirror Black. Just World gives, like, I think, the vocal performance of his life. Number 5, I think it's mine and Jim's favorite band. I don't want to quote him, but Obituary. And I just love the Circle of the Tyrants cover. So I'm
nice. I picked another one off that.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick the whole album
as
far as I'm concerned. But that cover, I think I said it before, I was never it was hearing this on Obituary that forced me to go back and spend more time with Celtic Frost. So, so that has like a bit of meaning for me. And then I love this album, so underrated. The self-titled Trouble album. So I went with A Sinner's Fame, but it's cool. Not as heavy and doomy as the old stuff. This is a little more psychedelic and traditional metal, if you will, but amazing. We talked about this, Death, Spiritual Healing. I picked Within the Mind. Then I'm going Deicide, Dead by Dawn, from their self-titled album. Number 9, I got to show some love to my favorite Pantera album. I picked The Art of Shredding from Cowboys from Hell.
Nice.
That's my favorite Pantera record. I think with every additional one, they lost me a bit more. I know the next 2 are pretty good too, but then my favorite Napalm Death record, I'm going to go Truth Be Known from Harmony Corruption. I mean, here you get the full switch into death metal from their punk style, and then add in Barney Greenway on vocals. Love it. Then I got to give some love, track 11 to Cannibal Corpse, A Skull Full of Maggots from their debut. And then lastly, one of my favorite albums of the 90s that doesn't get much love, but it comes from Morrisound. It's from Florida. It's death metal. It's Nocturnus. And I'm gonna go Pick a Fire from the album The Key. I mean, it's very underrated death metal. It didn't sound like anyone else, and they had a full-time keyboard player. The keyboards were used like a shredding guitar. So I think it's great music. They've done a few other albums since. I have them. They're not bad, but they never fully captured the magic of The Key. So
it's not the whole band though.
I know. Yeah.
One returning dude and everything else is new.
Yeah,
it's okay.
They still sort of hold to the musical style though, even though they got different members. But it's something's not quite the same.
No.
Those are my 12.
Great list. I think we had 2. So, but then one off. We had some of the same albums. So I'll go. We're 3 for 3. My number 1 was Holy Wars, Megadeth. I mean, 3 for 3. You got to pick. You got to go with something off of Rust in Peace. Yeah. My number 2 is kind of an odd one, but I really love this album. Would be in my top 10 death metal albums. Deicide, self-titled album, Dead by Dawn, the song. Really, really like that. But I could have picked probably 3 or 4. That
That's
album.
What I picked.
Sorry?
That's what I picked, Dead by Dawn, too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was number 8.
God. Jeez. Then we had 3. Perfect. For Obituary, Cause of Death, I went with Chopped in Half. I mean, it's a love song. You know, I'm an old-fashioned guy. So, no, I mean, I could have picked anything off of that album. And I kind of forgot about Circle of the Tyrants. And as soon as Billy said it, I mean, that's probably my all-time favorite cover. I mean, you give homage to such a great original. My number 4 is a Slayer track, and I'm pissed I don't know why I didn't pick Dead Skin Mask. That pisses me off because I should have, but I picked Hollowed Points, one of my favorite songs on the album.
That's a good song still. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love it. I love that. I love Skeletons of Society. But I'm there going like, why didn't I pick Dead Skin Mask? It's probably one of my all-time third favorite. I think, At Dawn They Sleep's probably my 1 or 2, and that's in my top 3. But anyways, Hollowed Point I really liked. Little off the beaten track here, but I consider it metal, and I will fight anybody who doesn't. But I picked Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. I love that Facelift album. I love that face. I love Alice in Chains. I love that facelift album. I know a lot of people don't consider it metal, but I think it's more metal than grunge for me. So I'd go with metal on it. Number 6, Pantera. Oh man, Cemetery Gates. I went with, but I could have picked so many songs, and the song you picked, Bill, is awesome. I mean, that's my favorite Pantera album. Unlike you, I think they got better. This album was awesome, but I love the next album not as much as this. And the next 3 albums I really enjoy. Huge Pantera fan. A duplicate one, I picked Painkiller from Judas Priest. I mean, that's just thrash metal. What a return, as Billy said. You got to go with that. I picked the Spiritual Healing from Death. So I picked the actual title track. But I could have picked anything off that. I mean, it's one of my, I think Leprosy is probably my favorite Death album. If I remember
I think you picked Leprosy, yeah.
Yeah, I think I picked Leprosy, but this one is an amazing, amazing album. I mean, it would be point of a point. Number 9, I went with As the World Burns by Sacrifice.
Ooh, good.
I forgot, I'll be honest, when I got towards the end of this, I forgot they even had that album out in 90, and so I decided to go with that. That's one of my favorites. And number 10, and Billy, I thought you would have this, at least something off this, but I picked Step by Step by Forbidden off of Twisted into Form.
Good song.
Yeah, I thought he's gonna have. I was trying to match up with you guys because I knew we'd all have Holy Wars and that, but I thought, I bet he's probably gonna pick something a little bit more, maybe not Step by Step, but he'll pick something off of Twisted into Form. So
it's just we never get a chance to talk about death metal. So
yeah, I know.
Focus at least half the list on that.
Yeah,
well, that's a fair point, Billy.
And it's kind of your point, I guess, with some of the industrial picks you picked there, Ken. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was, like I said, I was really into that kind of style of music back in the late 80s, early 90s. And Lord is a good album. Check it out.
I'm gonna check that out.
The Last Temptation of Reed. Check that out.
I should have picked something off of Left Hand Path. I mean, I think that's my number. I think I don't know if Cause or Death or Slowly We Rot would be number 1, but Left Hand Path would be number 2 or number 3 with Dissections, Ever Flowing Stream, and there's one from Bloodbath. We got to do a show on our top 10 death metal.
Yeah, we should
albums or whatever. I think that would be cool.
Well, Death and Entombed are my 2 favorite.
And Death, Death
of all time.
Would be probably my number 2 or my number 3.
I love Entombed and Death, the 2 of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah. What's your favorite Death album? Yours was Human, wasn't it?
No, it's Spiritual Healing.
Spiritual Healing.
That was me. I was Spiritual Healing the first time we talked about it. Then the second time we covered it, I did Human. Switch between the 2.
And Human's a good follow-up, though. Human's really damn good. Can't go wrong with it.
So, but so many, AC/DC had the Razor's Edge, which was,
that's a good album.
Which was
I like that
cool.
album.
Yeah. And then Cult of Souls, was released then too.
Yeah. Oh, I thought, Ken, isn't that your favorite, Ken, from Creator?
Yeah. Cult of Souls. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's hard. Like, it's hard to pick. Like, you can only have so many songs. It's a mixtape. I mean, I could have tried to squeeze it in, but
you could have done a special edition 2 cassette. K-Tel, Ken's pick.
Well, Sacred Reich, The American Way. That's one of my favorite albums too. I totally love that album. And then Death Angel Act 3, like that's another great album.
Yeah, that's true. That was released in 90. And same with the Primus had an album too. I don't know which one that one was. I don't think it was Sailing the Seas of Cheese or Pork Soda. It might have been an earlier one anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Primus fan. They're okay, but I don't know. I think they're all right. I'm just not a big fan.
Cool, guys. Well, I mean, that's 1990 in a nutshell. So it's kind of cool. I always have fun doing these mixtapes because you really get you, especially, my God, the last 2 years we've done are just so, I mean, we're in the throes of metal. I mean, this is the best metal years of all. I mean, maybe 91, 92, you're kind of finishing up there with some good stuff. But, oh, man, it's fun doing the mixtapes. I have a lot of fun. That was a great idea.
Cool. Yeah, I like the idea of that. It's cool.
And well, we're at the end of the show, guys, Billy, do you want to announce what we're doing next week?
Yeah, so next week is a holiday here in Canada, so it's Canada Day. I guess our version of Independence Day in the U.S. So we sort of figure we make it an all Canadian show. So under that theme, we've done a couple of the big hitters already, but we went with a big band. So Annihilator and doing their second album, Neverland,
Good album.
with Coburn Farr, who unfortunately passed away recently. So we'll focus on that, and we'll do some cool stuff. Like, we talk about the big four of Canadian thrash. So we're going to talk a bit about that and some of our favorite albums from those bands and what is our favorite Canadian thrash band. So yeah, so you can see the theme running through it, but yeah, it should be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be cool, guys. We can talk, some Bryan Adams.
And Nickelback.
Oh my God!
Just
Nickelback.
kidding, guys. We'll be Bryan Adams free. Everything he does it for us.
Yep.
Oh well. He's actually he's on tour. So, and he's coming here, but I'm not going to see him.
Why would you want to?
I know. Well, tickets will probably be about $300, and really, he's Bryan Adams.
Oh, he's old as the hills now.
Oh yeah.
He's
pretty damn old.
Okay. I saw him on like a news clip from a recent show. I was surprised. He still sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, if you're it's not my cup of tea, but wise, he still sounds very strong, like singing those old hits.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't let the drugs fuck him up. I guess that's.
Yeah, I know.
The hard drinking and the drugs didn't. I guess he avoided that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, on that, guys, we'll call it a day, and good night to everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night.
All right, night.